This isn't just food, it's my pride.
Take the money and forget it.
You know, I never thought a simple shift at work could turn my whole world upside down like Thism. Just a waitress trying to make ends meet, standing toe-to-toe with a guy who could buy the entire block without blinking. It started on a rainy Tuesday evening at the Gilded Fork, that swanky spot tucked away in downtown Seattle, where the air smells like old money and fresh linen, and folks whisper deals that could shift economies over plates of overpriced caviar. I was new there, barely 2 weeks in, and already the whispers from the other servers had me on edge about table 9, the one in the corner with the killer view of the Puget Sound, reserved every week for Victor Langston, the tech billionaire who'd built his empire on apps that track your every move. But hey, who was I to judge, right? Let me back up a bit. Paint the picture for you like I'm reliving it over coffee. I'm Jasmine Reed. Grew up in the Rainier Valley, where the streets hum with life and struggle in equal measure, my mom juggling night shifts at the hospital while raising me and my little sister on dreams and determination. We'd scrape by, her always saying, "Baby, strength ain't about yelling. It's about showing up every damn day." And I took that to heart. Working my way through community college, then culinary classes on scholarships I fought tooth and nail for, because no one hands you a break when your resume screams grit over connections. Landing the gig at the Gilded Fork felt like a win, tips that could finally cover my sister's tuition and mom's mounting bills from that knee surgery last year, and I told myself, just smile, serve, stay invisible, you know? But invisible wasn't in the cards, not with Victor. He rolled in like clockwork, sharp suit, sharper eyes. This man who'd lost his edge somewhere along the way, or so the rumors went. Folks said he used to be almost human, back when his wife and kid were around, before that horrific crash on the I-5 where a drunk exec in a fancy Tesla plowed into them, walking away with a slap on the wrist because money talks louder than justice in those circles. It twisted him, turned grief into this armor of arrogance, making him lash out at anyone who reminded him of vulnerability, especially servers like us, the ones he saw as beneath him. And me? Being black in that polished space already felt like walking a tightrope, subtle glances, assumptions about where I fit, but Victor made it personal from the jump. That first night, I approach his table, tray balanced, uniform crisp, heart steady despite the warnings from Carla, the veteran hostess who'd been there forever, whispering, "Honey, he chews up newbies and spits 'em out." Last girl quit after he grilled her on wine like she was on trial. I set down the menu, smiled genuine, and say, "Evening, sir. Can I start you with our house red or something lighter?" He doesn't even look up at first, just sips his scotch, then finally lifts those cold gray eyes, scanning me like I'm inventory, and mutters, "I doubt they've got anything in your background that qualifies you for recommendations. Stick to water, sweetheart." The words hit like a slap, laced with that entitlement that screams race without saying it outright, assuming my neighborhood meant I couldn't know a Cabernet from a Kool-Aid. The kitchen staff freezes behind the swing doors, peeking like it's a car wreck, but I don't flinch. I meet his gaze, steady as mom's prayers, and reply calm. "Actually, sir, I've got certification in sommelier basics, and our Pinot Noir pairs beautifully with the scallops if you're interested. Shall I pour a taste?" He chuckles, dry and mocking, like I've amused a king, but there's a flicker, something unsettled, and he waves me off with, "We'll see if you can manage that without spilling." It wasn't just rudeness, it was a test, probing for weakness, rooted in his own pain. This need to control, because life had stripped him of it once. Carla pulls me aside later, eyes wide. "Girl, no one's talked back like the usually has reassigned by dessert." But I shrug it off, though inside it's churning, that fire of being underestimated my whole life bubbling up. Not angry yet, just resolved. He faced landlords evicting us for late rent, teachers doubting my smarts, dates ghosting because of where I'm from. A snobby billionaire? Bring it. The weeks blurred into this tense dance, him upping the ante each time, like he was scripting my downfall, and me dodging with grace I didn't know I had, turning his jabs into quiet victories. One night, he orders the steak medium rare, no salt, no sear marks, and when I bring it perfect, confirmed with Chef Ramon who's from New Orleans and knows flavor like a second language, Victor pokes it with his fork, sneers, "This is bleeding dough. They not teach precision where you learn to serve, or is close enough your standard?" The implication hangs heavy, your kind unspoken but screaming, and the table next to us shifts uncomfortably, but I nod, no heat in my voice. "My apologies, sir. I'll have the chef adjust it right away. Perhaps a touch more time on the grill." He sends it back twice more that night, each time nitpicking to pink, too dry, while I keep my cool, anticipating his twists, memorizing his quirks like a bad habit. It wasn't just about the food, it was him chipping away at my presence, questioning my right to be there, his grief manifesting as this power play. Because controlling a waitress was easier than facing the void left by his family. Ramon notices, pulls me into the walk-in cooler one shift, steam from the pots fogging the air, and says, "Jasmine, he's broken lost his wife and boy years ago. That crash? The driver was some buddy of his rival, got off easy, and Victor's been storming ever since, punishing the world." It humanizes him a touch, doesn't excuse the barbs, but explains the storm his empire built on surveillance tech. Ironic how he tracks everyone, but can't track his own pain. Meanwhile, my sister texts me encouragement, "Sis, you're stronger than his wallet, and let him dim you." And it fuels me, this inner resolve growing, not to snap, but to stand unyielding. Tensions simmered, building like a pot about to boil over, with little moments that added layers like when Lena, another server, a Latina mom of two, confides over closing duties, wiping down tables under the dim lights. I've taken his crap for months, afraid to lose the job, but watching you? It's like you're rewriting the rules. It bonds us, these whispered alliances in the back alley during smoke breaks, sharing stories of microaggressions that pile up like unpaid bills. Victor senses the shift, I think, because his demands get pettier: water in a specific goblet, salad with exactly 7 cherry tomatoes, no more, no less, and each time I deliver flawlessly, his smirks fade a bit, replaced by this grudging pause, like he's seeing me for the first time. Then came the night that cracked it all open, a stormy Thursday when the host, Marcus, hands me an envelope, face ashen. He requested you specifically, Jasminino swaps, and it's early. My stomach twists, but I don't back down. He come too far, folding under shadows. Victor arrives, rain-slicked coat, eyes darker than usual, and hands me a handwritten card. No hello, just, follow this to the Laterno chit-chat. No chef's twists. I scan it. Starters of fried okra with remoulade, collards simmered low and slow, hush puppies golden and crisp, and the main jambalaya, hearty with andouille and shrimp, family style. It's Creole soul, dishes echoing my grandma's kitchen in Louisiana, roots we'd trace back generations, food born from resilience, turning scraps into feasts amid struggle. But his note, serve silently, your stories aren't on the menu. It's a gut punch, him appropriating my heritage to mute me, twisting culture into control, his way of saying, I own this space, even your history. I don't rage, I channel it. Walking to the kitchen where Ramon reads the card, nods knowingly. This ain't just food, Jazz, it's a statement. Let's honor it right. We craft each dish with intent, okra fried to that perfect crunch grandma swore by, collards infused with smoked turkey for depth, hush puppies drizzled with honey butter as a subtle nod to sweetness and hardship, and the jambalaya? Layers of spice telling tales of survival, rude, dark, and rich like the stories passed down. I serve it plate by plate, no words as ordered, but my eyes lock on his, steady, letting the aromas speak defiance in every steam curl. He eats slowly, fork pausing mid-bite, brow furrowing not in complaint but recognition, like the flavors are unearthing something buried, challenging his walls. For once, no sendbacks, just this quiet unraveling, him tasting not just rice and sausage but the weight of dismissal he's wielded so long. The meal wraps in heavy silence. He folds his napkin precisely, stands, and leaves without a glance, but under the plate, a check folder. I open it, breath catching, a personal check for $75,000, memo line scrawled, for your discretion. It's hush money, plain and simple, his attempt to buy my silence, erase the mirror I'd held up. Fury surges, not joy. IDE scraped for every dollar, but this? It's tainted, screaming, take it and vanish. I march to the manager's office, Lena trailing in support, and slap it down, voice even. I'm not for sale, not my pride, not my roots. Keep it. The room stills, manager stammering, you sure? That's life-changing, but I nod. Absolutely, respect isn't negotiable. It's electric, that moment, staff murmuring in awe, Carla hugging me tight. You just lit a fire, girl. Little did I know, a diner 2 tables over, some food blogger with a phone captured it all. The menu, my silent service, the check, my refusal. Posted it online with. She didn't just serve dinner, she served justice. By morning, Jasmine Reed explodes across TikTok, Instagram, X, folks sharing their own tales of being belittled in upscale spots, celebrities reposting with fire emojis, news crews calling. The Gilded Fork scrambles with a PR statement praising my poise, but the internet demands more. Why enable him? Victor's world crumbles fast. Board seats vanish, old employees spill about his toxic ways, stocks dip as boycotts brew. He ghosts, no apology, just fades, his empire cracking under the scrutiny he'd once evaded. For me, it catapults everything, invites to speak at colleges on quiet power, a TED stage where I share, not yelling about racism, but musing on the strength and stillness, how refusing to shrink creates ripples. I start Echo Serve, a group mentoring hospitality workers, especially women of color, teaching presence over please, because stories like mine, they've always simmered, just waiting for a spark. Looking back, it's wild how one stand shifted so much, but here's the thing that nags: was Victor's pain an excuse, or does grief twist us all? Did I push too far, or not far enough? What do you think? Have you faced a bully like that, where standing ground felt like revolution? Drop a comment, share your story. Let's talk about where justice really lands in these messy human tangles, because who knows, your take might just spark the next change.